Alrighty then. Oh, I gotta change the name of the show. Bye bye, Brody. Episode 130. Update. All right. Oh, we're so close to 250 followers. I should tweet that. Log out.
How close to 250 are we?
6 away.
Oh, wow.
So
I should follow the channel.
I'm going to tweet that
Just kidding,
out.
I already
What's
do.
up, see me?
See me. What's up, brother?
Let's see. Twitch.moobot. Skip. We are going live with episode 130 starting now. Come join us. We are only 6 followers away from 250. Tell your friends.
Did you
Thanks.
get my joke with Bye Bye Brody? You get
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
that was a show title. Bye Bye Brody. Kind of like Bye Bye Birdie. Showing my age a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for covering for me last week. Sorry to leave you guys in the lurch like that.
Fine, man.
Last week was a rough week.
Oh. Look at that. Subscription. 10 months hype.
Nice. See, I got my first subscriber.
Oh, congrats.
Mad at Arms. And then I got my first bit donation from Risen.
Nice.
He was all excited. He popped my bit cherry, is what he said.
Really.
Or he might have said, took my bit virginity or something like that. One of the two. Something to that effect. I just laid there and took it.
And enjoyed it, I'm sure.
That's right.
Alright, let's see.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed that Ziggy conceded before I got to Void Ripper that hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
So I went back and watched those VODs afterwards.
Yeah?
Those hands were rough.
Yeah. You had some bad draws.
Yeah, you did. I tell you, though, this season compared to last season, the fact that pretty much 90% of the matches are done on the United Hearthstone League channel, as well as being able to watch them on VODs later on. It's really awesome.
Oh, let them know you said so.
Oh, they know.
Yeah,
I've
during
told.
your match last week, Ferris Biscuit was hanging out with us in chat.
Yeah, I accidentally found a loophole into getting into the UHL Discord.
I thought they were letting people in now.
They
Nobody
are.
told me they were,
Oh.
but when I became a patron, I got an invite.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know it was open.
Maybe it's just open to patrons. I don't know. They talked about it. I've been seeing other
Well,
people.
there's only 3 patrons.
Oh,
You, me, and somebody else.
Andrew Brown, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I'm the only $5 patron,
Yeah.
so I get mentioned every show. I didn't realize that, but you know, anything that gets my name said out loud, I'm there for it.
What's up, Yellow Dart? Welcome to the pre-show.
Hey, Yellow Dart, what is up, brother? Good to see you. You know, I love what I wrote a review into the Daring Reporter, and I was like, any show that says my name every week is a good show.
Nice.
Like, I'll support anybody that says my name every single week.
All right, let's see.
I'm not narcissistic at all.
I've got. We are ready to draw our $20 Battle.net card winner. We've got show notes up. I've changed the title. Yellow Dart says it's always a good pre-show when y'all say my name.
That's right. You keep showing up in chat and we'll say your name as much as you want, Yellow Dart.
I need
Yellow Dart. Yellow Dart.
I need a soundboard clip that's just, that say my name, say my name.
No,
Man.
you really don't.
I found out today that Storm Rage and I have the same type of music taste when we're playing Hearthstone.
All right, let's see. I think I've got everything ready to rock.
So, I'm struggling to find a priest deck to play this week.
I'm struggling to find a priest deck that's good. Everybody's saying priest is actually in a good spot. I would hit up Wicked Good, unless he's kind of in the whole production side, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I mean, I know some. There's none of the unique, fun techs that we thought would be good with the set have been good. Dragon Priest is still good. Control Priest is probably the way to go when it comes to the best win rate, but it loses to a lot of other matchups. It's going to be tough. You have to play Priest this week, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. We could talk about it not live on air, but it's tough. Priest is one of the classes I haven't really been able to experiment with.
Yellow Dart, to answer your question, I know Cole and I are planning it. Rasika's planning it. It's going to probably depend on whether or not Zeroshio goes to BlizzCon or not, as to whether or not he's there.
As of right now, I have committed to. I promised my wife we'd go to BlizzCon this year. When I thought DreamHack and BlizzCon were like right next to each other and on the schedule. If I get BlizzCon tickets, I will 95% chance not make it to DreamHack. So likely I will not be going to DreamHack, but I'll know in 2 weeks if I get tickets. 2.5 weeks. The first night of ticket sales is Wednesday night, the 9th. So right after show, I'll bunker down on my computer, disconnect everything, turn everything off so that I don't get disturbed, and ready to smash the F5 and try to sneak me in 2 tickets.
Smash the F5.
That's right. Smash the hell out of it.
Oh, Red Knight hit legend.
Did he?
Ooh.
About time, man. He has had it rough, and he's been playing some really good decks, but he'll get up to like 1 and then just get like terrible RNG and draws and fall down to like 3.
Yeah.
It was like it was like it was destined for him not to get it. Now I'm legend, but I keep playing like rank 5 because I've tanked my rank playing recipe decks and goofy decks. So I'm not playing legend. Every once in a while I'll get another legend player that has tanked their rank like I have.
All right.
I've been
7:30.
practicing.
Y'all
All right,
ready to
let's
do
go.
do a podcast?
Let's go.
Time's up. Let's do this.
Starting in 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome to Hero Power. This is episode number 130. I'm so glad you all have stuck with us, and we hope to continue on forever. I am your host, Avantes, and as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, Zeroshio.
For you people that don't catch the video version of the show, I do some crazy head shakes during the intro music, and it just I'm more animated than I realize. I guess I don't know.
And Persika.
A truer statement has not ever been muttered on this show.
Which one?
The one where you said you're more animated than you realize.
I don't know.
Glad to have you back this week, Persika.
Thanks. Yeah, last week was a really rough week, beginning to end. But hopefully on the mend, and we'll keep going. So.
All right. So this week we have quite a bit to discuss, and then we are going to draw our patron winner for the month of April. That person will be receiving a $20 Battle.net card as a
Cool.
thank you for being a patron. And
Sweet.
let's we don't have any emails or iTunes reviews to discuss this week, so let's just jump right into it. The big news this week, as I'm sure you have heard, unless you are living in the Witchwood, is that Ben Brode is departing Blizzard. He will no longer be the lead director of Hearthstone. As of now, he's actually gone now. His last day, I think, was last Friday.
And to clarify, this is his last day with Blizzard.
Correct.
He's not just leaving the Hearthstone team. He has opted to leave the company on good terms, of course. And his reasoning was that he wants to get back into game development and wants to work on his own projects, which will involve making games. What's really interesting about this is at the same time, executive director Hamilton Chu also leaves Blizzard.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't do it as much fanfare. He does make a public statement on the forums, and replies to Ben Brode's post on the forums with, "Wow, that's interesting. Me too." So, both of them have changed their Twitter status to something to the effect of working on a new project, but it's identical.
Yep.
So there's no words whether they're going together or if there's anybody else in Blizzard that's going, or what's going on with that. Again, only time's going to tell. I'm sure in a couple years we'll hear more news when they're ready to release stuff like that. But it's really interesting that it's a changing of guard. And one thing that Ben wanted to make real clear is that even though he's leaving Hearthstone and Team 5 as well as Blizzard, most of the work and all the stuff he was given credit for was done by the Team 5 team. And the Team 5 team is going to continue to make quality product and to keep supporting them. So it's really neat that Ben's making sure that everybody knows that Team 5 is still going to keep
team?
doing what it's doing. And it's still a team. Yeah, they're a
because
team.
they're a Team 5 team, and Team 5
Team 5
team
team.
is a Team 5 team.
That's right.
No, as I've said multiple times on social media over these last few days, while Ben may be the face of Team 5 and the face that we see most in Hearthstone, it's more than one man. And
Exactly.
and the people that are a part of the group that make up Team 5 are a fantastic group of people, and we have so much more to be excited about and look forward to in the future.
And see, Peter Whalen has stepped up and done more publicly and making announcements and directors' videos and things like that. Young Woo's been coming out a little bit more. Dean Ayala has actually been taking to Twitter. He responded to a couple of my Blizzard Hearthstone concerns on Twitter, whereas Ben Brode normally would. So Dean Ayala is stepping up more. He's always been influential in the team, but he's not been so much of a face to the team. So you're probably going to see some shifting in the team. Somebody obviously is going to have to step up to lead game director. We don't know who that is yet. It'll be neat to see. But it has obviously left some openings in Team 5.
That's right. That's right. And,
Look, you're so proud of yourself for the segue, and Avantes isn't even going to pick it up.
I was getting there. I was getting there.
The hesitation and the anticipation on Zeroshio's face was just like, come on. I love that one to you. Knock it out. Come on.
All right. So
You ruined it.
To pick up on Zeroshio's softball there are going to be some vacancies in Team 5, and one of those was announced last week as Chalky will be leaving Tempo Storm to join Team 5 in a capacity working in final design.
Yep.
So I think it's really interesting to see how having such a long-time pro player integrate into the final design team is going to pan out for future cards. It'll be interesting to see it.
And the final design team is usually where the last bit of balancing happens before it's released. So Chalky is probably one of the best pros that are currently out in the pro pool that would be suited for balancing cards with the set in mind, and past sets and future sets, especially for competitive play. So I think Chalky's a great fit. Again, he left Tempo Storm shortly after becoming the manager for Tempo Storm, but Tempo Storm tweeted that it's an amicable separation, and they're happy for the endeavors that he's going forward to.
Hope that they have made all the fixes they want to make to Charge, because Chalky's a fan of the mechanics. So
there you go. The first change. It's no longer called Hearthstone. It's now called Charge Stone.
Charge Stone.
So
I honestly hope they give Doomguard Rush.
Yeah.
I think if they gave Doomguard Rush, that would probably rustle down Q-Block. But that's a different conversation.
Yeah. So getting ready for BlizzCon time. And
yes,
BlizzCon tickets go on sale
2 weeks.
Yep. So
the 9th at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. And then again on the 12th, that's a Saturday, at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, but BlizzCon's not the only thing going on in at the beginning of November. Right the day before, or a couple days before BlizzCon, there is a long-standing tradition called Con Before the Storm, and it is a mini con for all things Blizzard that takes place in Anaheim. There at the Hyatt usually. They also have what's called World of Podcasts. So I'm going to play a little clip here from our friend Ro over at Realm Maintenance to kind of explain it a little more.
The hype for BlizzCon 2018 has begun, and so has our planning for this year's Con Before the Storm.
Con Before the Storm will bring together fans and content creators for all of Blizzard franchises once again at the Anaheim Hilton on November 1st.
This is the largest Blizzard community-built event, and it's made possible thanks to everyone who supports our Kickstarter campaign, which is now live at conbeforestorm.com.
Our initial funding goal is $13,500, and we're confident we can hit that goal with the community's help.
As always, we plan to include meet and greet opportunities with dozens of content creators, including artists, podcasters, Twitch streamers, esports personalities, and much more.
Returning fan favorites that are already confirmed for this year include badge artist Egg Dishes and Tepish, as well as the return of shirt and button designer Nadia Lee.
Finally, it wouldn't be Con Before the Storm without World of Podcasts, which will be celebrating its 6th-year anniversary.
However, our plans for World of Podcast have grown, as have the costs to make it a reality, and we need your help to bring World of Podcast back for its best year yet.
Get ready for a great night of podcasting content should we hit our stretch goal of $24,500.
To learn more about our plans, stretch goals, and backer rewards, go to conbeforestorm.com and follow at conbeforestorm on Twitter for ongoing updates. See you at BlizzCon!
All right, so if you want to go out and have an awesome time with a bunch of content creators, you can go to Kickstarter and search Con Before the Storm 2018, or go to conbeforestorm.com. They are only about $250 from their initial goal currently. So
Nice.
There are lots of awesome backer rewards. And if they reach their stretch goal of $24,500, as Rose said, they will have World of Podcasts, where
Awesome.
a lot of people like us will go and actually get to interact with you guys. They'll actually have panels where you can, discuss topics with us and things like that. Now, myself and Versika probably won't be able to go this year. If Zeroshio gets to go to BlizzCon, there's a chance he may be there, so you might get to go meet up with him.
If I can get tickets to BlizzCon, I have already made. I'm already going to make arrangements to be at Con Before the Storm and World of Podcast. Now, whether I am, one of the content creators that are invited to be on a panel or something like that, I don't know. I wouldn't know. That's up to World of Podcast, but I will at least be attending. So you can feel free to come out there because we are making our arrangements, myself and my wife, to be there in plenty of time to enjoy Con Before the Storm as well as BlizzCon.
So there you go.
See, I don't know whether it's the antisocial in me or not, but I like watching BlizzCon on
Virtual ticket.
the internet. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for me, I think Con Before the Storm as an event is more enticing. Like if I could afford to go to one of those events and I got to pick, I would probably go to Con Before the Storm and then just get the virtual ticket for.
I'm not gonna lie. I've already
BlizzCon.
looked at what airfare would be for round trip out there and back just for Con Before the Storm. So you'd fly out on Wednesday, do Con Before the Storm, and fly back on Friday, and it's like $450 right now. So
It's not terrible.
it's not terrible, no.
Yeah,
It's
it's
still-
not terrible.
It's still a lot for the time of year. It's
See, with
it's-
our situation, my wife does get motion sick. So to accommodate her and so she will enjoy BlizzCon, we want to go out at least a day early so she can rest in the hotel and all that kind of stuff for a full day before we do BlizzCon. Well, it just so happens that during that time she'd be resting, there's Con Before the Storm.
Yep.
And if she feels up to it, she can go. If not, I'll go by myself. That's fine. And have something to do before BlizzCon starts on Friday.
So,
Cool. Well,
all right.
I hope they get their goal, and if you haven't helped yet, check out that Patreon and give these guys some love.
Yeah, check out that Kickstarter.
I'm sorry, Kickstarter.
So, all right.
Got Patreon on the goal or on the mind.
So, back to the news. The solo content for Witchwood, also known as Monster Hunt, releases tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, if you're listening to this on Thursday, when we normally release the show, it releases later today, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So, get ready to go and have some fun. I'm really looking forward to this solo content. If it's half as good as the dungeon runs were, I'm super stoked for this.
Yeah, and as soon as I can get off work, and get home, I'm going to be streaming that on my channel, twitch.tv/ZeroshiroHS. I'll be streaming the dungeon runs tomorrow and probably even Friday. Maybe through the weekend. We'll see.
Okay, cool. I unfortunately will not be able to do that tomorrow night because as soon as I get off work, I have tickets to go see the Avengers Save the World. So
Monster Hunt's more important than Avengers Save the World.
Yeah, I know.
Now, if it was a DC film... Anyways, moving on.
I'm a DC fan at heart, but DC doesn't have anything coming out right now. So
Yeah.
All right,
That's fair.
anyway. They also, Blizzard also announced that with the next update, they will be making some changes to the Shutterwalk and Life Drinker animations. So basically, they are going to double the speed at which Shutterwalk and Life Drinker go off. And they are going to cap Shutterwalk's battle cry at 20. So,
And here's the thing with the capping of the Shutterwalk's battle cry at 20. That is not so much, that's not such a big deal because honestly, it wasn't how many battle cries were on the Shutterwalk. It's how many Shutterwalks you can play in a turn. Because if you do the combo right, the second turn after you do the Shutterwalk, you could do Shutterwalk 9 times that entire turn. And that doesn't mean 20 total over all 9. That's 20 times 9, so it has a cap of 180. So it's still going to be a long animation, but they have shortened the animation of the Shutterwalk as well as the Life Drinker. So Life Drinker is going to be shorter, and that's usually the one that tends to take the longest on the Shutterwalk stack. So it's a quality of life thing. It's not a nerf of the card. But to be honest, the win rate of that deck is not high enough for them to nerf it.
any thoughts on this, Versika?
So basically, Shutterwalk at this point is sort of like Freeze Mage back when you had Ice Block, in the sense that you really only just have to manage the chaos until you kill him in one turn.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel like the constant pressure meta that we're in, I don't feel like Shutterwalk is really going to have a significant place enough for this to be a huge issue. But the fact that they've understood that it's an issue, and this is a pretty quick fix as far as Blizzard goes. So I think that this shows that it isn't just community wanting, that if there's something like this and the players speak out, that it does make Blizzard step back and be like, okay, so we didn't see this in our playtesting, and now that this is there, this is a problem. Do we want to kill this interaction? Do we want to nerf it this way, or do we want to try and control the animation speed this way? And it's kind of like they're trying to think the best way to keep the integrity of the deck and still fix the problem. And I think that's a very good line to take on how to fix it. So it may not fix all the issues, but they're trying to fix it in a way that doesn't kill the deck or the card. And this soon on release for a card, I like that they're taking their time and trying to do it differently than just nerfing the effect.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this during the Invitational, Ali Straza was playing another player, and I forget who it was. It was one of the European players. And he started the Shutterwalk combo, quickly went through all the keystrokes to get lethal, got up, walked away to get a drink. And, of course, the casters are still talking. They're laughing about him walking away. They know it's lethal. He comes back. The animations are still going on. And from the time the animation started to the time she died was roughly 4 minutes.
And see,
And she was low on health anyway, so it could have been a lot longer.
there is, I do kind of have a problem with that. I think your keystrokes that you're able to cue should be limited. So
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that because there are times that I've been in competitive matchups and I'm taking my entire turn to make sure this is optimal play. And then when my rope starts, I just go through all the keystrokes, and sometimes I have to queue up things that haven't happened yet. But that allows me to, and I'm not doing something like a Shutterwalk combo. I'm mainly just doing my attacks and a couple spells. But that would mean I'd have to almost rush my play, and especially, I mean, obviously turns 1 and 2, you're not going to have to worry about that. But they've shortened the rope on turns 1 and 2.
right.
From a competitive aspect, I think just for ladder play, I can understand it. But for competitive aspect, I don't know if I agree with that. But
And to me, that would increase the intensity and the difficulty towards the end of the game as you try to pull off more complex stuff. You're going to have to think faster. You're going to have to execute faster instead of, so it's probably not a popular opinion, but it's one of those that I feel like if you cap that, then maybe some of this kind of stuff where you have to go into the code to actually fix things is a little bit less stressful on Team 5 to fix something that isn't a problem for most decks involving said card or most players playing a certain type of deck.
I could see that. Now, on the Shutterwalk itself, while right now the Shutterwalk combo, as it's currently built with the Life Drinkers and the Serenite Chain Gangs, it's only sitting around a 35% win rate. And I personally think that we will get a better Shutterwalk deck. I've been playing the recipe deck, and I've seen a lot of people making variations of the recipe deck that actually has Shutterwalk in it. And it's less on the combo and more on just having a good sustain on your board. It doesn't have Life Drinker, but it has like Corpse Taker and Serenite Change Gang.
Right.
And to have a board full of, ends up being like 9/9 Shutterwalks with Wind Fury, Life Steal, and Taunt and Divine Shield is really amazing. I think that style of play hopefully still gets played because right now it's starting to become more popular. And again, it's not an OTK, but it's a solid shaman deck right now.
Right.
Okay, cool. So
You get the feeling he wasn't really listening to us.
I was listening to you talk about.
I get that feeling every week.
Okay.
I'm working the magic behind the scenes, guys.
That's right. You call that magic. That's all right.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Versika for a minute. So UHL has completed their first week. Week number 2 is underway, and this week your match is against Lore Master Eve from Valen's Chosen. And you guys are going to be playing this Friday at
9 o'clock Eastern. Yep.
Okay. So
so I played Ziggy Sarah. It's my first match, and she was as difficult opponent as ever.
Yeah.
She was Ziggy.
And our matches are usually pretty fun. And I felt like our first 2 matches were decent. And then, of course, you guys know my whole, after 9 o'clock, I'm fighting turning into a pumpkin anyway. So these, the Pacific time zone matches in UHL are particularly hard for me because I can't play them through the week because I have to be up so early for work. By the time they get home, I've already been in bed for an hour. So it's harder They have to be done on the weekend, and usually I've been up for the better part of 18 or 20 hours when they're played. But this last week I played Ziggy, and first 2 matches I felt like were pretty good. And then my third match, that Hunter deck just didn't like me. Excuse me. Still got a little bit of leftover cough from my.
Now, I had a question. I did have a question for you. There was kind of a situation when you were playing your Warlock deck, and it's been mentioned in the UHL rundown and a few places in the Discord, social media. You had kind of a questionable play with was it Corrupting Mists? Do you mind taking a moment to kind of explain what happened with that?
Yeah. So Corrupting Mist was actually still in the deck as an accident. I had been playing with Defile, and I started running into problems where there were no three health minions to trigger the Defile past the 2, unless I was playing against Paladin. So what I was finding, the Defiles were usually, I was having to work really hard to get them to do what I wanted them to do, and later in the games they just weren't helping me out enough. So I started playing around with different options. Twisting Nether it didn't help me in the early game because I still wanted something that would help with the early game pressure in case someone was value trading my board away. So I settled on this combo, and I don't remember the card name right now. You guys talked about it last week, but it's the Warlock card that has Echo that gives the creatures on the board -2. Is it -2 or -4?
-2, -0.
Right, and then it's got Echo.
I'll have it for you in just a second.
Yeah, so it's got Echo. And so what I was thinking was that later game, I could cast that card twice, give everything on the other side, everything on the other side of the board, -4, -0, and cast Corrupting Mist, and that would be my late game board clear. And then I still had Corrupting Mist for the early game. And with Warlock's ability to cycle through the deck and draw, it just the chances of me finding it early were pretty good. But I never really got it to work out the way I wanted it to.
And
so
that spell is Curse of Weakness.
Curse of Weakness. Yeah.
2 mana Echo, give all enemy minions -2 attack until your next turn.
Right. So basically, like the sort of the old Magic version of Fog. I just didn't want to take a ton of damage till the Corrupting Mist could go off. I ended up taking them out and putting in the Hooked Reavers, but I forgot to take the Corrupting Mist out.
Which also means you forgot to put the Defiles back in.
Because and I didn't have a Defile in because I had the Corrupting Mist in. So it wasn't really supposed to be there, but in that particular moment, to go back through the play, I had Doomguard and Gul'dan in my hand and Clutch Mother. She had a 4/4 Militia Commander and a Festering Hulk on the board. So the next turn I was going to take 8. So I Corrupting Mist, and then I threw down my Sea Giant because I wanted it to absorb that 8 damage. She was going to lose her minions anyway. So if I threw it down and it took the 8 damage, it pretty much turned into a Ironroot Treefolk. If she didn't clear it, and the Corrupting Mist went off and destroyed everything but the Sea Giant, then she was going to have to find a way to deal with the Sea Giant, which would have left, she would have had to use some resources to do so, which would have left my Doomguard more intact when I had to play him. And that Doomguard sat in my hand for a while because I didn't want to take a chance on pitching Gul'dan. But I knew the longer I waited, the better chance that was going to happen. So I wanted, if I was going to make that sacrifice of throwing out that Doomguard and losing the Death Knight, then I wanted that Doomguard to last, and I wanted her to have a harder time clearing it. It never really got to that point. I was never able to recover even after the miss. But that was sort of my sleepy half pumpkin turning way of just trying to survive long enough to try and find an answer.
Okay, that explains and we talked about it a little bit, like, you know, going back and looking at it, your hands were not great at times, you know, so you had to go kind of roll with what you had. But
And you know, even in the Druid deck, the hand was awkward for most of the game. It was just one of those nights where my hands just didn't really come into play. And part of that, I feel like, is probably reflective on my choices in the deck. And then part of it was just bad luck.
Yeah, and you had a great opponent in Ziggy. She's just really good at the game.
Ziggy
And this
is
week,
very good.
This week you have Lore Master Eve. She's definitely no slouch. We're not going to go through the full breakdown of everybody that's played in the last week or 2 weeks, because all the other shows are doing that. And UHL does a UHL rundown.
Right.
You can check that out at UnitedHearthstoneLeague.com.
And on Podbean.
And on Podbean. But the one thing I wanted to say is that the ladies of UHL are just blowing it out of the water. Illyri, a co-host over at HS Innkeeper, is currently 2-0. She won her match this week. She's performing very well. Toast the Badger, she is 2-0. Actually, reverse swept Breezy for her win this week, and Ziggy is doing really well. And I'm telling you, I'm just really impressed of the talent they brought in. And they made sure to include a lot of the known Hearthstone female players, and they're just killing it. They're doing a great job. I'm really proud of United Hearthstone League, as well as all the players, the producers. They're all just doing a great job. We always talk about getting support for your podcast and your shows, and obviously if you want to support us, you can go to patreon.com/heropower, but you can also go to patreon.com/UnitedHS League and follow them and support them, because all of this, while they're not charging anything for any of the content, all of this is donated time by the various broadcasters, the production teams, the players. Ferris Biscuit is obviously not doing this for free. It costs to put the website up. It costs to get the server space for all of the content. It costs for him to get the overlays done, the ones that they aren't being donated free by some of the people. So really go out and help them out so they can continue to have, you know, a third, fourth, fifth season of United Hearthstone League. They're worth supporting. I myself do support them, and I urge you to do the same thing.
So real quick thing about the UHL, if you're not familiar with the way it runs down, once you play a class, or once you allot a class for a week, you can't play that class again until you've gone through all the other classes. And I think one thing that people don't understand is that we have to have our classes submitted by Sunday night. We don't get to see the other classes. We don't get to see what we're playing against. So there's no counter cues. You're just blind guessing when you're putting these classes together and going in. There's some strategy to it. I tried a different strategy last season than what I'm using this season, but still, it's like last week when I submitted my classes, a couple of days later when I saw Ziggy's classes, I was terrified because my lineup against hers was just bad. And this week, going into my matchup with Eve, once again, I would say that I am unfavored in my class selection going into the match. So yeah, there's so many different levels of strategy with the way Ferris has set this up. It's really fun to watch, and it's really fun to theory craft and get in there and get in depth with who's playing what and when they're playing it and who they're playing it against, and then you get to see the deck list, and then the game happens. So it's like so much on the front end has to happen, and then it's like the play is kind of like the dessert. It's like everything else leading up to it is your appetizer, and and then it's just like, oh well, now I still have more to eat on the back end.
Yeah, you're gonna have a tough week. Like I said, the ladies of UHL are killing it this season, and Loremaster Eve is no exception. She's very good at the game, and I'm excited to see your guys' match. I will be rooting for you, but I'm excited to see how well she does.
All right. So make sure you tune in Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/United Hearthstone League to watch that match happen. I'm excited, looking forward to it. This week's Tavern Brawl is a new Tavern Brawl. It's called a Witchy Recipe. Hagatha is mixing up a special brew from her big book of cursed recipes. Choose a class and sample the latest deck recipe concoctions. So basically you choose a class and you get to play the new deck recipe. My quest today was win a game as a mage or a rogue, and so I played the mage, which is elemental mage, and it plays pretty good. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy any time they do these recipe tavern brawls. I really think it's a great way for players to try out the recipe decks that may or may not have the cards. I know I've been streaming the recipes for the past week now, and I've done one from each class. There's actually 2 per class, but they only highlight one in the Tavern Brawl. But there's a few of them that I actually had to craft cards for, because the recipes do contain some legendaries and some epics that you need to have. This is a really good way to try out those recipes without having to craft some cards. I love these type of Tavern Brawls. I had a lot of fun.
All right. You gotten to play it yet, Versika?
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing that you were doing. So I've really been taking that rank, practicing different decks for UHL on the ladder. So anytime that something comes up like a quest that isn't in the classes that I'm playing, I try to play it someplace else. So I had the Warlock class and the Rogue class quests. And so I went in, started out with Rogue, and actually, I'll say that the Cutlass did some work. I probably did 24 of my 30 points of damage to his face with the same Cutlass that I put out on turn 2.
Wow.
Wow.
So he was very frustrated, I could tell by the end. But it was an interesting and fun match. And then your favorite card out of the Warlock set, Avanti's, the Blood Witch, really came into play on my Warlock. And at one point, I had five Dreadlords on the board at once.
Whoa, that's really cool.
So it was pretty disgusting. It was nice.
I personally got to play the Hunter, and what was really exciting about it is it was the Hunter recipe deck that I haven't been able to make because I don't have Emerus. So it's the Dragon Beast Hunter, and it's really strong. To have those big worm taunts, the 3/11 taunts that become 4/11 taunts if you have a dragon in your hand, to have those in your hand when you play Emerus, and all of a sudden they become a 7/22 taunt when you play them. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It's a lot of fun. I love the recipe decks. I'm glad Team 5 continues to make these recipe decks. Obviously, the players over there, the players that have become staff like Reels and Kit Kats, just do a great job in this type of design.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. That Hunter deck is a lot like what I wanted to play this past week, and ended up scrapping to go with the more aggressive version. So yeah, the Dragon Hunter is no joke when it works.
When it works.
When it works.
All right. Well, that brings us to the time most of you have been waiting for. It is time to draw our April patron winner. So if if you're new and unfamiliar with what this is, every month, all of our $5 and up patrons are automatically entered into a drawing for a $20 Battle.net card. So if you're interested in getting your name tossed into this hat, just head over to patreon.com/heropower. And if you are a $5 or more backer each month, you will get at least one entry. And then depending on the level you back at, as a $10 backer, you get 2 entries. As a $20 backer, you get 4 entries, so forth and so on. So with that said, let's draw our winner. And this month, that winner is...
Drum roll.
and you can't see it off screen. Paul Lane. Congratulations
All right.
to Inked.
Inked.
Is
our boy
this month's patron winner. So thank you, sir. And one of us will be contacting you here in a day or two with your code.
Short shameless plug. Inked is the captain of the Hero Power Rangers, which is a Sylvanas league in Team Hearth League. He is our captain, which tomorrow evening, Thursday, at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, on Team Hearth League's Twitch page, twitch.tv/Team Hearth League, they're going to be doing all the announcement of all the teams and putting us in divisions, and season starts next week.
Woohoo! I'm excited. Here's to Hero Power Rangers having a good year. So
we came very close. Our very first season last season came very close to making playoffs. It came down to the last week. We just needed a couple things to fall right for us to make it, and we were, I think, like 2 points short. So, we got a chance. We made some roster changes. We've had some players have to step down, and we got some other members in our community step in, including Hero Power patron Dusharma. He's a new addition to the team.
Awesome.
And I'm really excited. I get a little tease for tomorrow, but I'm really excited for the announcement of the whole team and to see what division we land in.
Cool.
And hopefully we might have some more rivalries like we did against Dad Legend. And we missed out on a rivalry against the Hearth Coach team, and hopefully we can, have one of those as an option. It's really neat to have us all in one division, so we have to duke it out.
That would be fun. Yeah. What time is that announcement tomorrow?
9 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/Team Hearth League.
Cool. All right. Well, with that pretty much wraps up the audio portion this week. Do you guys have any last minute things you want to add?
Not going to discuss the deck?
Oh, I guess that's a thing, isn't it?
We haven't done decks in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Or
we haven't
3
done
weeks.
decks in 2 weeks, so
We'll give you a pass this time.
Yeah.
All right.
We haven't done decks.
All right. So, this week's deck is one you're probably seeing on ladder. Not that one. That one. The Hadronox Taunt Druid. So, I'm going to run down this deck list, and then I'll kick it over to Zeroshio to kind of talk about it, since he enjoys the Druid. This deck is 2 Lesser Jasper Spellstones, 2 Naturalize, 2 Wild Growth, 1 Tar Creeper, 2 Witching Hour, which is a new card, 2 Branching Paths, 2 Ironwood Golem, 2 Oaken Summons, 2 Swipe, 2 Carnivorous Cube, Harrison Jones, 2 Nourish, 2 Rotten Apple Bomb, which is another new card, 2 Primordial Drakes, the Lich King, Hadronox, Master Oakheart, and 1 Ultimate Infestation. So, Zeroshio, why don't you tell us a little bit about how this deck plays? What's the object of the deck?
So basically, the object of this deck is to put down taunts and just be a disruption to your opponent. It's really good against faster decks, especially with being able to put out an early Tar Creeper, or on turn 4 Oaken Summons into Ironwood Golem, or even a Tar Creeper. And your one of your weaknesses, so to say, is Q block, but that's why Harrison Jones is in the deck. The Harrison Jones is specifically to get rid of the Skola Minari, so that's one less chance they have to cheat out a Doomguard. Really, you're not so much worried about the Void Lords, because the Void Lords, it's just going to be a battle of attrition at that point. Now, the thing about Cube Lock and Control Warlock that's really hard to deal with is they can reload the board with Gul'dan. Now, they used to be able to reload it twice with N'Zoth, but N'Zoth is no longer in Standard. However, with Hadronox, and Hadronox is a 9-mana legendary 3/7 that has Death Rattle, summon all taunts that died this game. It hasn't been very prevalent because it's hard to kill it. Plus, really, is it worth it doing if it happens at one time? They just deal with your board, no big deal. But that's where the new card that just came out, Witching Hour. It's a 3-mana druid spell. Summon a random beast that died, a friendly beast that died this game. Well, since Hadronox is your only beast in the deck, it will always summon Hadronox unless something shenanigans happen and your opponent gives you another beast. So your goal is to bring out Hadronox on turn 10 and then immediately naturalize it, filling your board with taunts. And then later you can Witching Hour with Naturalize or Witching Hour with Carnivorous Cube, filling your board up again and still giving you more reload over and over again. Master Oakenheart is also in here so that if you get to turn 10 and you haven't drawn Hadronox, you can play a Master Oakenheart, and as long as you don't have any Ironwood Golems left in your deck, it will pull Hadronox. And there's heal in here in the form of Rotten Applebaum. There's clear in here in the form of Primordial Drake, as well as the Lich King can give you a plethora of tools. Clears, sustains, just damage. It's a really solid deck. I'm sitting right around a 67% total win rate with it after a rather large, 81 games. So that's a pretty good win rate for a large sample size.
Okay, I've actually been playing this deck a little bit, and I can confirm Witching Hour automatically summons the sheep every time something gets sheeped for me. Every time,
so
never fails.
So here's the thing: if they sheep one of your minions, and they don't have to sheep Hadronox, if they sheep anything and it dies, that adds a beast in the pool. Which means if there's a sheep in the pool, then that's a 50% chance that you'll get the sheep instead of Hadronox, and vice
Unless you're
versa.
Avantis, and then it's a 100% chance for Avantis.
If they sheep it twice, you now only have a 33% chance to get Hadronox.
Yeah.
Same goes for Hex against Shaman. Now, 33% chance isn't terrible, and I've gotten Hadronox even off a 33% chance. What's really bad is your warriors will get the Cornered Sentry, which is a 2-mana 2/6 with taunt that summons 3 raptors, which are beasts for your opponent. Some warriors are teching that into their taunt warrior. Other warriors are just being really smart and pulling it off the Stonehill Defender if it's an option. And that's an immediate counter, because just one Cornered Sentry now drops your Hadronox chance to 25%, which is almost impossible to recover from. So there are ways to counter this deck, but I have been countered with polymorphs and hexes and Cornered Sentries and still found a way to win, because these are just big, beefy minions, and they stay on the board.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but on the last episode of Alchemy Lab, you guys built something like this.
That is true. We built a variation of Hadronox.
That's
Druid.
the one that I'm playing.
Yes.
And I played it in my UHL match this past week against Ziggy
And it won.
And it won. I'm actually sitting at an 80% win rate with my version.
And to be personal, I like your version. I've only been playing this one mainly because it's the meta staple, and I'm wanting to learn
Right.
But the changes I would make would steer it more towards your version. Which, if you're curious about that, go to our EC MMO Gamers YouTube channel, and the VOD should be there for the Alchemy Lab. Am I correct?
I don't think I have that video.
Or it will be. We'll get it loaded up there. We'll put it on our website at HeroPowerHS.com.
But if you want to, in the interim, if you want to see Versika's deck list, you can probably find it in the hashtag deck list channel of our patron Discord.
Yes.
Don't know if I've put it in there.
It will be
Okay.
in there shortly.
I will do so. Yeah. So my list actually runs the 412 bear,
Yes.
which when
Witchwood
Witching
Grizzly?
Hour,
Is that what it's called?
yeah,
it's a
when
312. Yeah.
when Witching Hour brings it back at the full stat. I also run the. Actually, hold on a second. Let me just bring it up. I've got it right here.
Did yours did it have Hadronox in it?
It does, but I run Marsh Drake, Void Ripper, Astro
Gotcha.
Tigers, Ixalan.
Yours
Which-
is less on refilling the board and more just having a sustained strong board.
Yeah, mine is constant defense and pressure. I use the Grizzled Guardians to keep pulling Astro Tigers, and
Yes.
Okay.
it's in the end. The end goal is to get Hadronox out and end up getting your Witchwood Grizzlies and your Grizzled Guardians back. And when you do that, you use Void Lord or Void Ripper to flip their attack and toughness and combo your OTK your opponent.
It went really well for us on the Alchemy Lab stream, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And obviously, we did very well for you in UHL because that was the rather dominating win you had.
Yeah, I think I was at 49 total health when Ziggy conceded.
Yeah.
Uh,
Daring
'cause I-
Alkaline in chat says he took the single UI out of this deck because it felt awkward. What do you guys think about that, and what would you replace it with?
The thing with UI is sometimes it feels awkward because sometimes it sits in my hand, but sometimes I need it. I've had to use the Nourishes for ramp to get that quick start against a faster deck, and then as I'm solidifying the board and it starts to peter out, then I can use that Ultimate Infestation to get their last threat off the board, refill my hand, maybe draw into Hadronox or the Master Oakheart. I find if I can use the Nourishes for draw, or I get them so late that I use them for draw, then I don't need the UIs. But there are times I have to use the Nourishes for ramp, and then I'm glad I have the UI. I know there's a version of this with 2 UIs, and that is definitely overkill. 1 UI is good for me, but I can see taking it out.
I use the 1 UI as well, but I don't have Nourish in my list. So, actually, we played Daring Alkaline during that Alchemy Lab, and that was.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So with it's finding a list you like that fits your play style, and the thing that I like about this, and I'm actually at this point in the Witchwood meta, I'm really enjoying Druid as a class, and as much as it pains me to say this, I'm really not enjoying any of the other classes right now. I feel like none of them have an identity that I identify with. So right now I'm playing a lot of Druid when I'm not prepping for UHL. And if I'm looking to just play Hearthstone for fun right now, Druid is the only class I'm queuing.
Well, I mean, I'm really enjoying Druid quite a bit. There's a couple variations Druid I've been playing with, but this is my favorite so far. Personally, I'm enjoying Hunter, and not that crazy aggro Hunter. I'm enjoying Katharina Hunter. There's a lot of really good tools with Katharina Hunter now, with the grizzly bear that's a 312. It's good to pull off of Katharina. There's a lot of really cool tools. I'm really excited to eventually get Emerus so I can play that Dragon Beast style hunter. Shaman is actually it is fun to play a Shudderwalk deck that's not OTK, that's more just a board sustain. I'm trying to make kind of like a big shaman, kind of like a giant shaman. I still haven't fleshed it out yet, but it's fun to experiment with. The classes I thought would be fun to experiment with, Paladin, Mage, and Priest, really aren't that fun right yet. But again, meta evolves, something new will come out.
It's early in the meta.
An interaction that we did not expect will come out. Or remember the Water Warrior combination with the Murlocs and the Pirates didn't come out till almost 2 months after that set came out. So I really expect somebody's going to break out and find something. Hopefully me through my experimentation, and it'll be revived. We're only 2 weeks out of the set.
Right. Yeah, so be patient, give it time.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, with the new solo content coming out tomorrow, you might be doing solo adventures, and because the card pools you get are kind of random, you might find card combinations you would never have found in Constructed and go, wow, that really worked in my dungeon run. I wonder if I can make a deck like that in Constructed. And sure enough, you probably can. And then that's going to bring out new meta, new deck archetype we haven't seen before. So I'm really excited to see what Monster Hunt does to Constructed, because Dungeon Run came out at the same time as the set release, and we saw some combinations in there that people immediately put into Constructed that first week. Well, now it's 2 weeks apart, so we might find something new, and all of a sudden something new is going to come up. Plus, we haven't had any real tournaments yet, and those also bring out new deck designs.
Well, the other thing that I wanted to touch on real quick, you were talking about the Katharina Hunter. If you haven't gotten a chance to check out Leary and Jordan Lingo play this week, he brought a Katharina Hunter, and it was pretty awesome.
It was phenomenal.
Shout out to him and his list, and he's a brewer as well. So of course I'm rooting for him. He's in the other conference, so I can do that and not have to feel bad when we play.
If you want to see those VODs, you can go to twitch.tv/team United Hearth League,
Right.
United Hearthstone League,
Right.
and those VODs will be under the video section.
So I did want to say he's off to a rough start, but he has given Toast the Badger and O'Leary all they wanted. So keep brewing, Jordan. You're going to catch one. You're going to catch somebody off guard. And
I'm worried about this season. I'm worried about the season of UHL because Jordan might steal your Mad Scientist title because he's got some crazy deck ideas.
He does.
And regardless of how either of you finish the season, I really think there should be a Jordan Lingo versus Versika, Mad Scientist versus Mad Scientist grudge match.
Well, so, Rod Johnston from Tier 5 is he's a legit rocket scientist, right? So Jordan is actually going for his PhD in, I want to say biology. And we were talking, and he's doing legit curing disease work. So I'm going to go ahead and say that he is probably way smarter than I am. So, I will gladly pass that mantle on, and I will be the Igor in the corner watching him create his things and just hoping the lightning doesn't strike me. But I want to see what all the madness is. So
I will say, truthfully, when I watch Greenspeed play, that's Jordan Lingo. His style, his deck building style, and his style of his plays reminds me a lot of you. And while some of his matches he loses the matches, it's those games within the matches. If he loses, 3-1 or 3-2, it's those 1 and 2 wins he does get. He wins with a flair and with fashion, which is what you do, and that's what's really interesting about UHL. Is it's not always about the results of who won the league. It's going back and watching some of the games and seeing how people won. And that's just exciting for me.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm totally cool being the T800 and letting him be the T1000. You go out
Alright.
there.
All right. Well, we need to move on to the play portion so we can get that in. So if you are joining us on Twitch or YouTube, stay tuned for the live play portion of our show. If you are listening via our audio podcast, we would like to thank you for joining us at this time. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOGamers or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show, you would like to help support and improve it, or you would like to join our patron-only Discord, you can do all of that at patreon.com/HeroPower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power.
All right, gang. While we are getting this thing set up, Zeroshio, are you about ready to drive this thing?
I sure am.
Are you ready to fight the Spectate boss, Alantes?
Just about. I'm feeling especially tanky tonight.
And I'm into page 2. I almost never go into page 2. Alright, so Hadronok, Taunt, Druid. What? Oh, no, there's an extra 9. I thought I was like rank 1,000 something, but I had the last digit covered up with my Skype window. 10,000. 10,000.
I was like, what is going on?
So, okay, so I am in Legend. I got Legend the day before Witchwood came out. I played a lot of experimental deck recipes. I tanked my rank. And I started getting matched against rank 6, rank 5s. And I come to find out through Dean Diala, that's normal. That's because my MMR is putting me about a rank 5 player. Right now, I've built it back up to rank 4, 3-ish. I was back up to 2 and 1, but then I fell back down doing some more experimenting. So, all right. So I have Oaken Summons, Tar Creeper, and Hadronox. I'm gonna pitch the Hadronox packs because I'm against Hunter. So obviously they're gonna come out guns blazing. I'm going to keep the Tar Creeper and the Oaken Summons.
Yep.
Main reason Tar Creeper is going to keep, those small minions off of me, and Oaken Summons is going to give me armor as well as bring a taunt out. And I got the Nourish, which is really good. We're going to want that on 5. So clearly we're going to pass turn 1.
So what exactly are you looking for in your mulligans?
If you can get the wild growths, you almost won't always want to keep them. I usually keep a Nourish, especially if I'm on the coin. I'll keep a Nourish.
All right.
And so we're going to Hero Power go face. Jasper Spellstone is... Yep, I didn't. Jasper Spellstone is usually good against kind of early game, against Paladin, Hunter, some Shaman. Well, both Nourishes. It's a little overkill. But that's fine. We're going to throw down Tar Creeper.
Okay, I was going to ask if you wanted to check for the trap first.
By going to face with my face?
Yeah, I just didn't. I'm curious as to why the Tar Creeper play right now. Are you worried about Huffer?
I'm not worried. Well, Huffer's always a worry, but if I put it down now, I build up presence on the board, and I challenge the trap next turn. If I just go to face, I'm taking unneeded face damage, as well as I'm not developing anything on the board. Now, if I could have done that and put out a taunt, I probably would have. This is probably Wandering Monster. So I'm going to attack with the Tar Creeper first. Just because I really like the Wild Growth. I guess I've decided if I'm going to Wild Growth or Oaken Summons. Originally, I was just going to Oaken Summons. But I think the Wild Growth's to play, so maybe we do run it with our face. What do you think, Rasika?
I don't know. I feel like if you wanted to do that, last turn was the turn to do it. I figure now you're gonna want to try to pull a tree folk, right? That's gonna make
Yeah.
it really hard for him to get through,
Why
and you're not subject to just a deadly shot.
I would say, why not just Oaken Summons pass?
I mean, I feel like that's the way to go at this point, and just say,
Don't
"Come
even
get
pop
me."
it.
No.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me. I mean, that keeps one less charge on his bow, and it allows us to pop it with our Oaken Summons.
Right.
Next turn is most likely going to be a Nourish and a Wild Growth. Now remember, he's not odd or even, especially not odd.
Right.
So-
but now he has to start face tanking some of this stuff, or he's never going to get ahead. So
Okay, so he doesn't want me to pop it with the Oaken Summons, which tells me it is likely Wandering Monster.
yeah.
Because a
Oh,
3-attack minion will almost always kill him.
Right.
So is this an obvious Nourish into mana first?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The question is do we Wild Growth now, or do we attack to face with the Creeper and then possibly finish it off with the Spellstone?
I almost feel like you're so far ahead at this point. I would almost keep the Wild Growth back for card draw.
Okay, because we can Primordial Drake next turn.
That's what I'm thinking.
So-
So next turn you're already like if you Wild Growth now, next turn you spend 9, but I mean unless you Spellstone something, then you're leaving a mana on the board anyway.
So how about just Hero Power, and we Hero Power to face and leave the Tar Creeper just in case it's Freezing Trap?
Okay.
Because okay, so that tells me it is likely Freezing Trap.
Yeah.
So we don't want to attack with the Tar Creeper then?
No.
Because the other options are it's Freezing Trap or Rat Trap, which I doubt, Snake Trap or Venom Trap, and I don't expect it to be either one of those either.
I don't either. So
I think it's
that's pretty
almost-
much,
Obviously freezing.
and I mean we want to pop it with the Drake.
That'd be great.
So
And see, this gets rid of his axe or his bow.
yeah.
Ooh, and we have Master Oakenheart.
On
In
turn
hand.
9, which draws into Hadronox. Right? No, we still have one more goal.
We do have an we have a golem, so it's a 50-50 for Hadronox. So does this mean we have to draw with Nourish? No, that would be next turn, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would say this turn is Primordial Drake for sure. Yeah.
And see, next turn we can draw with Nourish, trying to get you the Hadronox or the Ironwood Golem or an Oaken Summons. Setting up for a turn 10 with either Hadronox or Oakenheart or
Right.
Oakheart. Okay. It does make that Primordial Drake 10 mana if it gets brought back.
But it's still, I feel like in his case, that's still,
He did not attack. There's the Oaken Summons. So we can Oaken Summons, which will get us the Ironwood Golem.
yeah.
You want to do that first?
Yes.
Because Nourish now is not really needed. Do we Spellstone the 3/5 taunt and hit it with our face?
I don't hate that.
What do you think, Versika? Let's hit it with our face first to see if we pop
Yeah.
any traps.
I was getting ready to say, let's see what pops up.
Nothing. So now we Spellstone it
I think so.
and then hold the attack because it could still be Freezing Trap.
It most likely is Freezing Trap, but you're only going to take 6, and you get to put the Drake down again next turn at full health.
So what am I doing? Attack?
I would attack.
I'm attacking a minion. Okay. That's fine. I mean, yeah, we'll take 6, but we will be able to put it down again. I would have almost rather him run through it and then we put down Hadronox next turn, but this is fine. I guess it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen the other. It's about the same pacing either way. So now we drop the Drake. Oh, the Witching Hour is so good. You just need a Carnivorous Cube. So drop
I
the
think
Drake.
you dropped the Drake. Yeah.
Because we haven't had enough taunts die. To be honest. I wouldn't mind drawing into the second Primordial Drake, to be honest. Ooh, he's taking that face. If we draw a Naturalize or Carnivorous Cube, I really like Hadronoxing this turn. There's a Harrison.
Just a little too late.
I think we still Hadronox, right? We're going to get a Tar Creeper, 2 Ironwood Golems, and a Primordial Drake.
Yeah, I agree.
I also agree.
So we're going to Master Oakheart, which is guaranteed to pull a Hadronox.
Right.
And then we're going to naturalize him.
We're going to naturalize it. And this will pull back our 4 taunts. Yeah, that's right. This can be hard for him to get through. I think this might be a Katharina build.
I agree. I think it is a Katharina build.
So we need to keep taunts up because we can be bursted down from, 15? 8 and 7?
15. If he doesn't play Umbringer.
So he put down another trap. Oh, there's a Primordial Drake. So we drew a Primordial Drake. What do you think about drawing with Wild Growth?
I like it.
Just in case we can get a Carnivorous Cube? Okay, we got the Lich King. What do you think of running the Primordial Drake and Oakheart into the Grizzly and dropping the Lich King?
I like that.
I would say run the Drake in first in case that secret he played last turn is another.
That's what I was thinking. It's not. It's probably explosive. Which means we don't want to go to face, right?
We do not want to go to face.
So slam Lich King?
Yep.
Okay. So that is, the traps are either wandering, explosive, or misdirection. I really doubt it's misdirection, even though I put misdirection in my even hunter, but it's an even hunter. I was trying to fill the gaps up. And it works really well against big, beefy minions going to your face.
So Death and Decay was probably the best draw for the current board state we could have had. So,
because we can pop the we want to kill Oakheart, so there's more rooms for taunts. So we can run him into the high main and then follow it up with Death and Decay without having to use the Primordial Drake. And it also cleans up the Spellstones. The Spellstone Wolves, because they're 3/3s.
which I'm pretty sure is the second card over
From the left.
From the left.
There's Crush. So he's going to use it to clear out Lich King. Wow, that's kind of one of his big win conditions.
Yeah.
So he really wants these taunts out of the way, which tell me he doesn't have the Charged Devil Swords in hand, but he probably has Katharina.
So you know what I think you should do?
Uh-huh.
I think you should Oakenheart.
Oakenheart into what?
I was going to say, why not Witching Hour into Cube, but...
Well, we're going to Witching Hour into Cube.
Yeah.
I was just trying to
We just need to clear our board up.
Because if you
So I was thinking
we don't want to set off the trap yet, so we don't want to open heart anything.
I was thinking we do. We clear the 2/2 with the 5/2, which we know won't go off. Then we
Right.
just send Tar Creeper to face to set off whatever traps, and then we Witching Hour Carnivorous
Okay.
Cube to fill the board up.
That was my original thought, but I was thinking that
I mean,
was
we
missing something.
We could use the Tar Creeper to clear that with our face. We'll have enough mana. You want to do that instead?
No.
No?
Keep with what we were doing. Yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna go Witching Hour into quickly animation. Oh no! Where is it? Where is it? Ah, we're not gonna get it. Ah, the animations were too slow. Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. The animations just wouldn't let me target Hadronox. I'm sorry. Ah, sometimes I hate the animations. That's a pain. I think we're not dead, though.
I mean, you can still cube it and then kill the cube and get back two
That's-
regular ones, right?
If he doesn't have
Yeah.
a second silence.
I
Yeah.
mean, you're going to get back two, so it won't matter if he has another
How can we
silence.
kill? We can't kill the cube this turn, though.
No, but
No,
he's
but
not. He's not running 2 Spellbreakers, surely.
You don't
You
think
can play
so?
the Rotten Apple Bomb for health.
Yeah. Go ahead and kill the Spellbreaker.
Cube it,
Cube Hadronox.
and then Apple Bomb.
Yep.
Apple Bomb. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll be super surprised if he's running 2 Spellbreakers.
So those trap animations took forever. Okay, so this is great for Death and Decay.
Yeah. This board is going to be amazing for Death and Decay.
So kill that off with Carnivorous Cube, right? Kill off the high main?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, is that freezing trap?
Oh, it might be.
So let me kill high main off with my face and then Death and Decay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do not want that to be. I mean, we know he runs freezing trap.
Yeah.
So just Harrison.
No. Branching
We need-
Path.
Yeah, but we need something out there to pop the freezing trap, don't we? Next turn.
Right, but we can wait. He can't. If you branching paths twice for 12 armor, that puts you at 25.
Okay. Because we are in range of double
Right.
charge Devil Sword, aren't we?
Right.
Okay. So then next turn we can Primordial Drake.
Yeah. Which gives us some protection.
Okay, now this isn't too bad because now he's not hitting us for 2 every turn.
Right, and it did 2 damage to the cube, which
Yep.
you're going to do 2 more damage to it, which puts it into Spellstone range.
So we want to draw Spellstone, yeah, or Naturalize. Either
Well,
one.
we've got 10 cards. Yeah.
Oh, there's another Witching Hour. That'll be good for the next Carnivorous Cube. So Drake,
Is there...
what?
Hold on. Let's Nourish. Nourish for draw.
Okay.
We're going to gamble a little bit.
Swipe, branching paths. So just branching paths?
Yeah.
For
And to
armor?
draw. One armor,
One draw? Let's do
Yeah.
draw first. Got to Naturalize. And then armor? Or do
Yeah.
we want another draw?
I would armor,
Okay. Do we want to naturalize that?
and then I would naturalize it.
Okay. I like it. I like it. Now, if one of these Hadronox goes back to our hand, it's not a big deal. So we can attack into a freezing trap.
Right.
Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. This deck does have a high skill cap. I've had a few people play it and say I'm like 1-6 with the deck. I said, well, there's a lot of thinking into it, so you just have to practice it. Sequencing is important. And the Hadronox does have a long animation to go to the board as well. There's a second silence, so that's the one we attack face with, right?
Yep.
Yes. Oh, explosive. It's fine. It's fine. So we go face, and then we eat the non-silent
cube it.
Hadronox.
Yep.
Yeah. We eat it with cube, right?
Yep.
And now we still have. Well, we don't have we don't have a way to kill off the next one, but that's fine.
And then
Did we swipe
armor.
face?
I know we armor and hit face. We double swipe, hit face next turn.
Okay.
That means he has to take everything. Even if he just leaves the Tar Creeper up, he's still dead.
Death grip. It could be anything. It could be a charged devil sword. It could be a boat. That joke worked last time. I thought I'd do it again.
It was funny on your first stream. Because I don't think there's anything at this point he can do as a hunter to save himself.
Bloatbat, but Bloatbat's just going to put Hadronox back on the board. He could Bloatbat,
Yeah.
and if he had a way to kill the Bloatbat.
But does
or
that
bad
give-
charge?
I was gonna say he would have to. Yeah, I was gonna say he'd have to run into either the Drake or the.
Well,
Lich
if he Bloatbatted it and had it have rush and poisonous or something,
Yeah.
I don't know. Wow, I'm 10,304. Getting there, boys. I think next month I am actually going to realistically try to get up and say top 500. I've been in the top. I've ended the season top 1,500, and I haven't been as high as 242.
Yeah, these games are not fast.
No, they definitely are not fast. Nearly top 10K legend. Yep, I'm almost there, man. Almost there. We need a boat command. Yeah, we do. I'll need to put one into my channel. Oh, by the way, Mad at Arms, my sub emote has been submitted, and hopefully it's up soon. I submitted a couple days ago. So I want to keep we got Oaken Summons witching our Harrison Jones and Hadronox against another Druid. I don't want to keep the Oaken Summons, but I think I throw everything else back.
I agree, 100%.
Witching Hour, honestly, before you can Hadronox is a dead card. There's no use for it at all.
Ouch.
So the Nourish is good, but yeah, the Lich King hurts, and so does the Rotten Apple Bomb. Ooh.
That's not good either.
Nope. And the bad thing is on 4, we'll want to Oaken Summons, but I'd also want to coin Nourish. So I'd love to draw into Wild Growth right now. So I can Wild Growth the next turn, coin into Nourish. Ha! Yeah, baby! Called it. Wild Growth, right?
Yeah.
How do I do this? So next turn, coin Nourish unless he puts something too threatening on the board. This is Spiteful Druid.
Yeah.
Now that I know it's Spiteful, I almost feel like we have to coin Nourish. What do you think?
I think you're right. We are not getting any
No.
favors.
And we're not favored in this matchup.
Yeah.
Do we pop the Firefly? Is there any merit to that?
I say we take 2 of that armor, or 1 of that armor off his face.
I agree.
So we already have 1 dead Oaken Summons. Master Oakenheart now does nothing.
Oaken Summons can bring a Tar Creeper. So not dead. So we can Oaken Summons now, and we'll get an Ironwood
Pretty-
Golem or a Tar Creeper.
Pretty dead.
I don't think we need to Apple Bomb yet because we haven't taken much damage.
I would almost just go ahead and make him go through. Well, no, because we don't want Oaken Summons. Yeah, go ahead and Oaken Summons. Just say
Oaken
we don't
Summons?
want it to be totally dead because we could draw one up next turn.
Yeah. Then we don't hit anything right now, right?
No, there's no reason to.
No reason. Because we challenged all the damage on the board, so. At least we haven't seen a Keleseth yet.
He would have to use everything to clear.
Or
Unless he
can pump
does
them in.
that.
Still, that's still quite a bit of resources he's pumping into it.
Yeah.
Lich King?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, without a doubt.
Hopefully drawing the Death and Decay.
That would be fantastic.
Yes.
And we got it.
I'm on fire tonight, baby. I need to go buy me a lottery ticket tonight. So I'm hoping he holds off completely here. Yeah, just go face. Face, face, face. This is so juicy. So Apple Bomb, Death and Decay?
Why wouldn't you Death and Decay first?
Oh, yeah. Death and Decay first, of course, right?
Yeah.
But do we play the Apple Bomb? Since
Oh,
we're
yeah.
in a position of needing heal?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was any merit to Ironwood Golem.
I don't think so because you don't have enough armor to send it to face. I think
The
right
good
now,
thing about Lich King is and when he dies, if we bring him back with Hadronox, he comes back full. Oh, this is nasty. Okay, that's actually not terrible. So I like swipe the spiteful, go face
Golem.
and apple golem or apple bomb, whichever one.
I think I would Golem, go face with my face, swipe like you said, and
Okay.
make him go through the taunts the hard way.
I like it.
Agree.
I like it, especially since we have the second swipe as reload.
I would put the pressure on him.
Yeah, because he is hurting right now, and we're one naturalize away from really turning this.
We're
The
an naturalize away from filling the board back up.
Yeah, the bad thing about Spiteful Druid is if they can get Tarantus. I've considered putting one BGH in here just for possibility of Tarantus.
Apple Bomb, swipe face, run our Lich King into his Lich King.
We won't be able to go face with Ironwood Golem unless we also Branching Path.
That's true.
I almost like, instead of Apple Bomb, just swiping his face, Branching Path at least for one set of armor, and then going face.
Yeah.
That's 7
Well,
damage to his
So
face.
hold on, if we swipe Deathwing, we can still clear Lich King with Lich King.
Uh-huh.
That puts Deathwing dying on the Iron Root.
Okay.
We can Branching Paths into draw.
Yeah.
So
To
swipe.
try to get a naturalize.
Okay, let's Branching Path first. For draw first.
Yeah.
And then we have to do armor because he
Yeah.
won't be able to attack. So we swipe,
Yeah.
then we face. Now, do we run in or do we go face?
You go
You can
face.
you can go ahead and clear if you want, but he's got to
Oh.
clear it anyway. So it's
Yeah,
up to
yeah.
you. It's like
I
do
like
you
the
take a
face
chance
damage.
on it?
Because I don't want him to have an option to use his face for clearing. So get him low enough that him using.
I mean, what's he gonna do to do 6 damage? I'm looking more of like card removal. Like if he naturalizes,
Yeah.
then we've lost our ability to take out definitely. I guess
If he naturalizes, that's great because that's 2 chances to draw into naturalize. So Crypt Lord's been a recent addition to the Spiteful build, and it's really been doing good work.
Yeah. He ended up clearing with it anyway.
Yep. So that means it was the right call to go face them.
I would have waited, cleared with my other 2 minions next turn. But I'm a
So
strange bird.
wild growth,
I think so.
we're desperately trying to get to that naturalized, right?
Yeah.
Jasper Spellstone doesn't really change much.
No. So I think,
Apple Bomb Hero Power.
Yeah.
He's used 1 Spellbreaker.
He's probably only running 1. I would go ahead and just.
Do we Witching Hour now then? Oh wait, never
you
mind.
gonna bring
What am I
back?
saying? I'm an
Yeah.
idiot. I'm thinking, do we next turn? Maybe we just Hadronox. Worst case, if he has a second taunt, we can Carnivorous Cube again.
Yeah.
I do like having a Jasper Spellstone because if we can get it up to 6 damage, we can kill our own cube with the Jasper Spellstone.
Right. So we're looking at Oaken Summons. Primordial Drake is hard to say no to
Primordial Drake then?
with this board. I mean, he just reloaded his hand. If he's got an extra silence in there, he's going to have it there right now.
So go ahead and Primordial Drake then?
Yeah. Because I think instead of trying to power through this, I think he just uses the second silence.
And we just Hero Power, right?
Yes.
Do we hit the Tark? Nah, there ain't no reason to hit the Tark Reaper, right? If we could have Spellstone this turn, I might have considered it, but we couldn't.
Well, 1 more armor next turn, and you just straight up take it out. 1 more hero power.
That's Rush. Can you use the Ghoul too?
See, I'm letting him do this all day long.
Yeah,
Now
that kind of
that's
hurts.
troublesome.
Branching Path would be good because we could double armor into Spellstone to clear that.
Yeah.
Naturalize is obviously a draw we want to see. UI is not really a good draw, but UI the Tar Creeper?
I mean, yeah, we pretty much have to.
That'll draw us a third of our deck that's left,
Yeah.
or almost half.
Almost half, yeah. He puts us on a clock, but he's only at 16.
We got to naturalize. So, okay, we're fine. Well, he's got 11 damage. He's not going to burst us. One thing about Spiteful is it doesn't burst. It just has strong minions on the board you have trouble dealing with. And this is honestly an unfavored matchup. So this is obviously a Hadronox Nourish turn, right? Or Naturalized turn, right?
Yeah.
Do we kill off our Ghoul first? To give 1 extra room? Because we'll have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 taunts come on the board. So we won't have to kill it off, do we?
We don't have to, but going ahead and doing 5 to that makes it a little more manageable.
I'm fair. I'm down with that.
What's his card count? He's only got 8. Because
We're gonna have to watch our card count because Lich King could overdraw us if we're not careful in the future turns. Oh, that's a great draw.
Yeah.
Frostborn is so good. Oh, that hurts. That hurts bad. Oaken Summons will actually get us a Tar Creeper and empower our Spellstone to be able to do 6 damage,
Yeah.
which we almost have to kill that Scalebane, right? Oh, we might have to Primordial Drake.
We're gonna have.
Yep,
Yeah,
we'll have to Primordial Drake. I knew he was going to pick poisons.
Yeah, Lich King's gotta die.
So Primordial Drake first, right?
Yeah.
We can run one Apple Bomb and Jasper the Lich King.
Well, no, we need to get that Scalebane. It needs
So-
to go.
So Spellstone the Scalebane first.
Yeah, I hate to waste it on that, but we can't.
You're
get
right.
it.
It needs to be done.
Yeah.
And then how do we clean this up? I don't want to put both of those into the Lich King, but we can get rid of the 8/3 Crypt Lord, which is almost as good.
I was going to say. Yeah, we need to get rid of one of them. So which one is the most troublesome? I think it's the Lich King, isn't it?
But we'll lose 2 minions to get rid of one instead of just losing one.
Okay. Don't we lose both of them anyway?
No,
Okay.
I was going to hold the attack on the next one because it isn't worth hitting the Crypt Lord.
No, I was thinking that he's just going to clear it all out, and we still have the Lich King on the board.
Yeah, but he won't get any additional face in. He'll have to use something.
Thank you for the follower, BMO Zerker. BM Zerker.
That was weird trading.
Yeah, oh, that's
Yeah,
why.
Death
He had the
and
Death
Decay.
and Decay. This is... What's he going to steal? Oakart. Take Oakart. Ah, Harrison, that's fine. That's fine. We do know he has Harrison now, though, so we want to hold off on the Frostborn. So this is Witching Hour Carnivorous Cube?
Yeah. You know what?
That
Since
was
we
kind
have
of
both
perfect.
of them.
Am I still cubing?
Yeah. I'm just saying, since we have all of them already, I think we go ahead and naturalize Lich King.
Natural. Okay, this will overdraw him, right?
Yeah.
Overdraw him 3 cards. The other Scalebane. That's good. And then one more. Mind Control Tech. Yes. Those are 2 big comeback mechanics he has.
This should be bottom right, right?
We're both
I
at
don't
3
know.
cards left in the deck, so we'll see what.
We can't use it any of our card draw. We only have, 1 card draw, so. But we have another Witching Hour into Carnivorous Cube.
Right.
He doesn't want us to kill our cube off. I like Frostborning the Crypt Lord.
I like Frost Morning the Sarnite Chain Gang.
You think it's better to have a 2/3 comeback instead of a 1/6?
That's right. We don't get to cast it. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get to
Crypt
cast
Lord.
it.
Yeah, the Crypt Lord's problematic anyway.
Now, he'll Harrison, but if he Harrisons, a taunt comes up.
Right, we just get the Crypt Lord. So.
And play the Tar Creeper.
No.
We don't want to water down our pool.
Right. Right.
So
just
just
take
clear-
out one of the Sarnites. Yeah.
Okay.
And go ahead and hero power to armor up.
Yeah, I like it. I like having branching paths in our hand to be able to just surprise him with the golems being able to attack.
Well, now we can Oaken Summons too because it doesn't pull anything.
Oh yeah. Either one. Second Fungalmancer. I think he's drawing dead now because he has another Ultimate Infestation he can't play. Surprised he didn't throw down to Harrison.
I think we definitely Oaken summons.
Oaken summons. And then do we run the Golem into the 5/2 or do we run our face so we get it?
I think we run. I think we run the Golem in.
To the 5/2?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we run Carnivorous Cube into what? The 5/1?
I think we run it into the 5/1. Yeah.
Okay. And then do we go ahead and eat one of the Hadronoxes now? With Carnivorous Cube?
Yes. And then we do 5 to face.
Okay. I'm cool with that. Any merit to spellstoning anything?
Yeah, I would spellstone the 4/2 because it's not going to do him any good.
Okay. There we go.
There's the bottom right.
And be honest, in my matchups, that is an unfavored match. Spiteful tends to beat me. I think Spiteful beats me like so. I think my numbers were right around 60%. So that's a tough matchup.
Let's see what mine is for that one.
That's such a fun deck, though.
It is. It's a lot of thinking, though. There are so many decisions to be made with it.
Tavern Brawl was good to me today, boys.
Oh man, that you at least I have solace that it's a classic legendary.
It's getting me a little closer to that full set that I'm working on.
I'm still missing. I'm almost ready to craft Laura Walker Cho because there's a meme deck that I want to make for Druid for Rogue.
Alright, here we go.
Okay,
Yes!
Very good.
Ah.
That is so good in Control Mage right now.
So my win rate against Spiteful Druid is 1-1. I played Druid 3 times. I played a token Druid and Spiteful Druid twice. I lost once and won once. And then I beat the token Druid. So not a huge pool there on my list with that one.
I do play a lot of games. Since Witchwoods came out, I think I've put in, if I have a number here.
Yes,
Something like
that's Matt.
287 games.
Wow.
That's just a standard. That's not counting any arena played, wild, anything else. 287 games so far. 2 weeks.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, that's going to pretty much do it for us this week. If you have any questions or comments about the show or the deck that we played this week, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. Do us a favor, hit that subscribe button below on YouTube if you've not done so already, and give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. For all other details about our Discord or our tournaments, be sure to check out patreon.com/heropower. And until next week, good gaming.
Bye, guys.